Good morning, good morning. Hello, hello, and welcome. Thank you so much for the subscription, Nick. How are you doing today? Welcome, welcome. I appreciate your support. Anyway. True talk show. That's why I needed a big screen. Wait a second. Let me switch to this one. I am fine. How are you? This week was extremely difficult, to be honest. I've lost someone very, very close to me, but in general, I am doing well. And I didn't stream because of that, to be honest. That was the main thing why I stayed away this week. I tried to post online like I always do, but yeah, it was hard. In general, I'm doing fine. So yeah, thank you very much for your condolences. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the support from everyone who is here for me every day of my life. I want to say that I would like to pay some respect of a minute of silence and all, but honestly I do not see any sense in that. Anyway, tell me about your week, how everything is going for you. While I'm doing my thingy winny like always, while I'm trying to get the cars and tires and gliders. Yeah, you know, just like that. So I think I actually liked that card as well. My weeks was fine. I'm happy to hear it for you. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying the gameplay. I am looking forward to Mario Kart 9 still. And by the way, if I'm not mistaken, there is a new thing that Nintendo Switch 2 they patent release of Joy-Con mouse function or something like that. I don't know exactly what it means, but yeah, it's like it's good, right? So yeah, I hope that is something interesting from there as well. I hope we can play some Mario Kart 9, and this time you will get the game. So it is going to be awesome to play with you, of course. In the meantime, people who are here but who do not know anything about my social media accounts, there is an update on Patreon. Right now, every time when I add the workout, you will see a small short video about the exercise, one of the exercises. I'm trying to update everything little by little, make it more comfortable and more usable for everyone who is doing sport with me. So I hope it is going to be a help for some extra help. Hello, Sunny Ahsan. Welcome into my page. How are you doing today? My name is Natalia Grant. We are playing video games over here. Currently we are crazy about Mario Kart, and that's what we are doing. I am trying to achieve all the golden cups from all the races on every CC. That way I can have all the cars and gliders and tires. So if you like this game, please join me just in a few minutes in online play, and if you just here to talk, then jump in the chat and don't be shy. Okay, the update about the Patreon, as I was saying, because the videos are short, I'm going to post them every time with every workout. Eventually we are going to have a collection, a library of all the workouts. Yeah, you will get the full workout eventually when I feel comfortable enough to show off my workouts. Actual videos. We will replace everything with the workouts for me, but for now it's just my AI trainer. Everyone who doesn't know, I do workouts every day with an AI personal trainer, which is awesome, to be honest. I have a lot of fun doing so. I think the late no, actually it looks okay. It's just everything is just 1 second. Let's go and wait for the thingy. This is the one, and okay, this is much better. That because for some reason it doesn't always work. Sometimes I'm using Restream, so sometimes it doesn't update properly, and yeah, it is annoying. In general, I hope OBS is trying to fix the problem with the camera, because yeah, it is clearly OBS that is screwing up with me. We'll see. Так, what else do we have from updates in the past 2 weeks, basically, because I've been trying to improve everything in the past weeks. Also on my OnlyFans page, you can find the content behind the camera action. So if you are following the modeling career of Natalia Grande, you can see something like that there as well now. I hope you're going to enjoy it too. Last time we've been talking about relationships and all, and about the position of women in society and just in general. And there is one I don't know how to call her, to be honest, but there is a person on YouTube that I'm listening to sometimes, not always, but yeah. And I like the way she thinks about the family importance, to be honest. And I think it is quite awesome, actually, that there are people who think that family is important, and that representation of healthy relationship and healthy people is when you are growing up in a full family. I did not have the opportunity of doing so with X amount of reasons. You're never responsible for the choices of your parents. But because I am familiar with that situation, I promised to myself that I would never put my child into something like this. And that always reminds me of a story that I've heard when I was like maybe 15 years old or something like that. A couple was married for 75 years, and the reporter came to their house, came to their place, and he tried to have an interview with them, asking them questions about how did they actually make it work. So their answer was that in our time, we did not have an opportunity of replacing things, so we learned how to fix them. And it was so inspiring, you know. but I never actually understood the full meaning of it. I was always thinking, like, yeah, before that, people would build their own furniture, people would fix their own house to make sure that it stays over there and you have a roof over your head. Today, because the possibilities of comfortable life are so much easier, I think, I think we do not cherish it as much as we used to. And yeah, like in every family, you have those up and downs where not everything is going the way you hoped it would. But then when you are actually trying to fix it, you understand that there is almost nothing that can destroy you as long as you are as long as you're willing to work on it. And I'm thinking about it much more right now because I was looking at the family where I was growing up. I looked at my grandma and my granddad. This week Sorry. I don't even know if people are here because I don't see any messages, so maybe nobody is answering, but I've been holding this since Monday basically. I've been thinking about it more since Monday. And goodies. Hey Awakening, how are you doing? Welcome. So as I was saying, I was looking at my family. I was looking at my grandma and granddad. They were together for I think 40 years. Hydrate. Absolutely, you're right. And I forgot my bottle. Let me look for another one. I have a little bit. AFK. What is AFK? I do not... What is that? Away from a keyboard. Okay. Away from a keyboard. AFK. I am going to create a template with all the short ways of typing, so every time when somebody is sending me a message, I will actually look over there and understand what they're trying to say. Anyway, I've been looking at my family, at my grandma and at my granddad, and I realized that yes, they had so many difficult situations in their life that they've been through so much and that they stayed together. And I think that is actually a dedication, not to just the person who you choose, but to an entire family, an entire line of people that you've created, basically. And today I hear more and more that women are leaving their man and that 75% of divorces are actually made by women, that they chose to do so and that they it's their decision. And before that, I understand, if we're looking at the history, the woman just did not have the right to do so. Which brings me to my first topic about that empath, I would call her, and what she is talking about, that a family should be together as a man and as a woman because the way they connect and the things that they bring into each other and out of each other. And yeah, staying committed to one person, it is a hard job, don't get it wrong. And I understand why more and more women are trying to leave their man, because sometimes it's feel unfair when you do everything basically and the man is over there and you do not know what's going on. And now with the possibility of going outside there in the world, getting an education, finding a good job, women understand more and more that they are miserable. They understand that it is quite difficult to live in a world like that, to worry about getting money for the food. And more women say that they have empathy, yeah, when they feel for someone, that they feel for man more and more because they didn't realize how it was before that, and now, yeah, because they have the practice of living like that. That yeah, maybe I want to be a mother, maybe I want to be a housewife. I hope eventually we will come to the point where women will understand that staying in the family and raising your kids, that's the best thing you can have in your life. Because educating someone and making that person make that person, what is the word for that? I don't have a vocabulary to talk about shit like that. But basically making a worthy person, bringing that person into this world and teaching them how to be. Yeah, I truly believe that our society can be better if women would take that more serious. Which is quite sad, to be honest, that we still do not understand that it is quite important, that we should really shut up already, stop saying that we are as strong as men, we are as capable as men. Again, I'm not trying to not encourage women to work or to do something more useful, but it's just, I don't know. Sorry, it's all bullshit just flying in my head, and honestly, I just don't have too many people to talk about something like that. Like always, I have my grandma to tell all of that, but she still doesn't understand it the way I would want her to understand it. And yeah, I guess it's because of the lack of the possibilities that I have today. The chat just does not work for some reason, and the connection looks so bad. What's going on with my stream today? No idea. Anyway, let's talk about something. Yeah, let's talk about something else. What are you interested in? Because honestly, lately I've been reading news, and the only thing I read is about American political system, which is which is not as interesting, and I don't need hate or overtaking my stream with all that bullshit. Everyone has their own opinion on how to do things and how not to. So I do not live in that country to decide if it's good or bad. But I've heard that Germany is threatening everyone that they are going to leave Schengen zone, which they do every few years, when the situation is not as pleasant as it can be. Like, for example, what was that in 2000 and something, when Greece had economical crisis, Germany stepped up. They took over the responsibility of financial support for that country. And when they got tired, what did they say? Either you bring it over here as well and you help me to maintain the country, or I'm leaving you all and you're all screwed. Yeah, the biggest and one of the most powerful countries on earth. It's the stomach of Europe, I would say. They make and produce everything, which is. Mm. In general, I hate politics. I hate economics. When you read about it, you understand that it's all so screwed, and people just. Wait a second. I already did this race. Forgot. Need to quit and restart one more time. This is going to be it for the car hunt. After that, we will start with online gaming, so you will be able to join me and play a little bit with me. Sorry for taking that long, but yeah, I hope I hope it doesn't bother you. Okay, and that's going to be Doc. We're choosing this guy. Oh, look at that! I didn't even race. Oh, that's not. No, I don't want that card. That is actually quite nice. Okay, the last one, Momo Meadows. Where is Blimpy? Right? I realized what I forgot to do. Wait a second. It is much better. Now there is nothing over there. It's going to be much easier to see the background and the gameplay. Anyway, what happened in your life in the past week? What did you achieve? What's going on? Jiggly just answered. Duck. Sorry, just a second. Hello, Jiggly. How are you doing? When is I get out and yeah, absolutely. I understand what you mean. It's not like I mind talking about it. Don't get me wrong. I think that if you can have a decent adult conversation about a sensitive subject, it only shows how much you've grown. But because we are not familiar with certain situations, you cannot be 100% sure of what's going on and how and where and with whichever reason it happens like that. But you know, like for example about Ukraine, I can be certain about saying some things. And the corruption is insane, and the corruption is here on every level. And believe me when I tell you that the corruption in Europe is also there. It's just not in a daily life. You do not see it as much. It's more something higher with the politicians and stuff, and they know how to hide it well. In Ukraine, yes, it's more obvious. If you need to fix your document, you can pay and make it much faster. If you want to have, how do you call it? For example, a doctor's leave, right? You can go to your doctor, you will pay him something, and he's going to give you that piece of paper that states that you were sick. And it's with everything. You need your passport to be renewed faster, you can get it as well. Usually it takes 3 weeks, or with the corruption you can do it in a week or 5 days or even 3 days. As long as you have the money. And I do not agree with that, really. I think it's bad not just for the economic of the country, but also for the mental health of a person. because once you understand that you can do something like that just because you can, and you can gain something from it, yeah, it turns that switch in your head like I'm the god. You cannot do anything, you cannot breathe, you cannot walk, you cannot do anything unless I'm allowing you to do so. And if I think that you do not deserve that document for whichever reason, you're not going to get it, you know? And if you wanna get it, I will make you pay. I will make you pay so as much as I want you to pay. Which is really, it's sickening. Like I said, I do not agree with that system. Yes, I abused it like everybody did, and if you would have an opportunity to do so, you would do it too, you know? And it is bad. But right now, since the war started, it got even worse. Because the amount of money that goes into the country is just yeah, it's something you can comprehend, I think. They say those numbers and you read the number and you have an idea what that number means, but to actually, like, money wise, how much is that? And yeah, it's scary. I guess my hair would stand straight on my arms if I would see that amount of money with my own eyes. True. Yes, yes, it is, it is. So every time when, especially now, especially lately, every time when I hear that man ran away from the country, again, there are so many sides to the coin, it's never two, just so we are clear. Always more. I don't think it's right to run away, but I also don't think that everyone should feel and be responsible for the country where they were born. You know, it's like you have to go to war because this is your country. Yes and no. Just that simple. But we have volunteer organizations right now that are traveling across Europe. They are collecting and gathering food from, like, for example, I remember I had a girlfriend. She moved to France, and she told me that they had like big baskets right at the exit of the store, and you had an opportunity of buying some food, putting it into that basket, and they would send it to people in Ukraine to make sure that it's like Red Cross and some other smaller organizations that are doing that. A lot of them usually collect money, but there are some of them that collect clothes and shoes and food, and they just do it, which is so wonderful. You know, they're trying to bring that humanity in you. And yeah, it's just really, it is great. We should want to help people, not abuse them, but to actually help them, to actually try and be better, you know? And yeah, the volunteers, those are the people who try to do something better. Sadly, not in Ukraine, not anymore at least. Because today, for example, where I was growing up in Odessa region, it's a tourist place because it looks like France, like Paris. A lot of people come there for its architecture. Plus, we have a lot of museums and theaters, and the most cherishable one is the Opera Theater. There are only two in the world that were built by the same architect. One is in Italy and the other one is in Odessa. And beside the fact that Odessa is protected by UNESCO, beside all of that, they attacked Odessa last week a lot, the center of Odessa. They destroyed a few museums and they did horrible things over there. But because that city is so tourist attractive, we have a lot of hotels. Another friend of mine used to work in one or two of them, and she told me that the owner of the hotel is being a volunteer. And in the past 3 years, hello Blimpy, how are you doing today? And in the past 3 years, he have changed his car 3 times. I'm like, what? What do you mean? And she told me that there is a system now in Ukraine that if you want to be a volunteer, if you want to help people, be safe from army, so they cannot take you, they just cannot take you to the fighting side because you're a volunteer. You have to pay $25,000 to be a volunteer. And when you hear something like that, I mean, like, it's just so painful because your country is under the attack of another country. Your people are dying daily. And it's like, it's just horrible, you know, like truly horrible. TSA. What is TSA? I don't know that part. I don't know what that means. Sorry, is that some kind of organization? What do they do? And Blimpy, why are you depressed? What's going on? I'm actually also depressed this week. I've lost my granddad on Monday. And he wasn't just my granddad. He raised me. Everything I know is because of him. He was my papa. I called him papa my entire life. I don't wanna cry. I've cried enough. But what's up? What's going on? Come on, tell me. Come on, wake up, and let's have fun. We're here to have fun. I'm just touching a sensitive subject because I need to talk about something, and that is something I know, that is something I can have a conversation about. We also talked about mouse joystick for Nintendo Switch 2, and they're going to bring a new game as well. Something. Thank you. I don't know if I'm going to feel better because it's not like I wasn't ready for that. My granddad had a dementia, so we expected it for the past few years. But when it happens, then you realize how much it hurts. And with my rational brain, with my rational part of the brain, I understand that it's better for him as well. On the other hand, my papa, you can never be okay with something like this. TSA, it's the Transportation Security Administration. Okay. They're working at the airports and they're scanning the bags. Yeah, I remember the time in Ukraine when people wouldn't get money as well. And I remember my grandma told me a story when they did not pay her salary for like 8 months or something. So we had to survive on the garden that we had. And because of my granddad, we had a lot of fruit and vegetables. He was very good with his hands. Everything he would put in the soil, it would grow. And many years in a row, we had tomatoes the size of my head. I'm not even joking, they were even bigger. Thank you so much, Knavion. How are you doing today? I hope your Friday is going to go well for you too. But yeah, when in, it's like when in 2000s you do not get paid for your labor, that's just something unacceptable. Flat out unacceptable. Because it shouldn't be like this. Thank you for the healing energy. I'm sure it is going to calm down eventually, and yeah, it will come. I'm sure of it. But thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. Really, I do. Why don't you have a social life? I mean, I understand that life is depressing, and if I'm not mistaken, men are actually going through that. Like almost every man I know told me at one point that they feel depressed. Hello, Mimic! Welcome in. If you're new here, my name is Natalia Grant. I'm a variety streamer. Right now we are focusing more on Mario Kart. I'm having a lot of fun on social media. You can look, you can check it out on top of over there. We have different pages where we are communicating and doing fun stuff together. Hopefully you are going to enjoy your stay over here, and yeah, tell me about yourself. Now, because I finished 100cc with the first part of the races, we're going to do a little bit of online playing, support some of our friends, and have more fun like that. Blimp and every man in this channel, in your like from 18 till maybe 25, did you feel a lot of depression and bad thoughts about your life? Because I have a brother, he's 17 right now, almost 18, and he feels the same way. I've never dealt with the guys. I'm a girl in the first place, and my older brother wasn't there at that age. We didn't grow up together, so I don't know how he felt. But the more I'm trying to help my brother, the more I realize that whatever I am saying to him, it's kind of useful in a way, you know? I cannot relate entirely to something like that, but we have older guys here as well, and I would like to know your opinion on how to deal with aggression, depression, bad thoughts. Like, I know you can always go and have some fun, yeah, with the one who is always by your side, but let's be a little bit more realistic and not as dirty as we are. So yeah, I'm just wondering, is there a way to make yourself feel better? How do you communicate with people? How do you deal with your emotions? Because clearly, for my brother, it's more aggression than depression. But for our Blimpy, for example, it's more depression than anything else. And like he said, non-existent social life. Do you consider online friends as your friends? Do you need that physical entertainment between between people, you know, because there is always that thing that you think that you are alone, you think that nobody understands you. Just a second, I'm going to quickly type this so everyone who wants to join can join. Yeah, I mean, like, how do you do those things? Because as a girl, for us, it's more like you're going through that At one point you're still a child, and then it's like, I want the attention. I am seeking of that attention, and the more attention I get, the better. That's why most girls are sluts. Really, that's just the way it is. You don't have to believe it, that's the way it is. A woman turns that insecurity into self obsession. You know, the better I look, the better I talk, the better I do this, the better I do that. I am all wonderful and all. I'm going to put as much makeup as I can to look the best as I can without actually realizing that it damages your skin and all. But yeah, like, you know, and for the guys, it is different because you have those social, that social frame, and you cannot go out. You have to study to get a good, stable job. You have to make enough money. And especially in America, the way I see it, you have to make 6 figures, which is insane. I mean, there is that channel, there is that channel, like many actually channels, where they ask girls on the street, like, what is the comfortable life for you? How much does your man has to make? And I'm listening to them and I'm realizing, like, what the hell are you talking? Do you actually know how to make even 100,000 per year? And I'm like, what the hell? You know, it is insane. I am spoiled right now because, yeah, my husband had a very good job and his payroll was insane. But I came from nothing. And honestly, I am still enjoying growing my own food in my own garden. Right now, I don't have a garden, so I have bags with dirt and I have tomatoes growing outside of my bags. And yeah, I realized that women are spoiled just because we've learned how to deal with our own insecurities and depressions different. Guys do not have it. And yeah, sorry, I'm blabbering, but let me quickly read the answer from past 21. It is hard. People. Of course people care about what you have to say, Blim, especially your friends. I mean, like, you know that I'm here for you, even if I'm not streaming as often as I did before. Yeah, guys, please, there is a way to contact me. There is a way to send me messages. I am not responding to the messages as it is because I am still trying to separate my personal time from my work time. But if I see that you need my help in any way, I will be there for you. Really, I will be. So of course, I feel for you and I wanna feel for you. Don't get it wrong. If you have anything you wanna share, please do so. I understand it may be more difficult because I'm sitting in front of other people, but at this point, my microphone cut out. Really? You do not hear me? Because OBS shows that my microphone works. It doesn't. Aha, okay, it's you. Okay, fair enough, thank you. What I'm trying to say that even if the chat moves and a lot of people are talking, I am still here for you to talk to you, and I am trying to make sure that I am answering to you as you and me are having a conversation. Your headphones, okay. You can have good relationship online. Yeah. I think so too. I think an online friend can have a deeper connection than a real one. And I think it's because you do not have to show your eyes to that person. The feeling of self-insecurity and the feeling of judgment goes aside when you talk to somebody when they do not see you. I think that part, I think it is understandable why certain, why internet connection can be deeper than anything. I understand why people how do you call it? I understand why people find their love and their friends online, and I think it is so great that we have an opportunity to connect with people from all over the world. I also see the negative parts in that, of course, obviously, because nothing is extremely positive and always positive. So, yeah, it's that. But yeah, dealing with stuff on your own is difficult. When I met my husband, I was one of those babes that thought that a lot of makeup, a tight dress, very deep cleavage, high heels, and that will worth more than you. You know, like actual you. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Cause yeah, you know, you can deal with the woman as long as you can look at her. You can just kidding. I know. Don't worry about it. Uh but yeah, it's you know, it's like that. Yeah, Blimp, I understand that online friends are not the same as yeah, yeah, I understand that. Really, I do. I'm sorry you feel that way, and I pray for you to find someone who you will be intimate with. You know, like who can be that deep connection into your soul, and the person who you can talk to, and the person who will make you want to wake up in the morning. Oi, sorry, I did not mean to do the team thingy. Go back, please. Yes, I wanna go back. I'm sorry, I'm going to create a new room. I just screwed myself over with that team thingy. Um, Prejustified. Yeah, but you know, being honest online is something that you cannot actually be sure of. I don't know how to explain it because people are liars by default. We are always trying to look better than we actually are. 1 second. Because we are trying to show people that we are better than we are. For example, even me, you know, when people ask me how many languages do you speak, I say 5. Even though one language I am still studying, and the second language I cannot actually speak that language. I can a little bit. I can do a little bit of reading, but that's about it. But yeah, I do want to be more appealing. I want people to like me even more, you know? So I mean, like it's there. No matter what, it is there. And I understand why you would have that feeling of not connecting on a deeper level. Because yeah, you cannot be sure. When it's a physical connection, it is a little bit more it's it's a bit more easier because you can see the person's eyes. You can see the little micro movements on their face, or you can see the way they possess. No, not possess is the wrong word. The way they present themselves. You know, like the gestures that they make and how they make it. For example, when I'm talking, and it is because I've read the book, I understand that the more I will show my hands open to you instead of doing it like this, the easier for you it's going to be more open to what I say. You know? Because that is going to mean that I am trying to suppress you and push your opinion away because only I matter. But if I do it like that, I'm showing that I'm actually I mean well. Even if I'm saying something wrong, I do mean well. And yeah, I think that's one of the things that you are not in control to when you speak to people online. It is easier to do it with the streamer, you know, because you see how they sit. And in general, did you know that the psychopath and psychopath, that's the person that is trying to achieve, psychopath and narcissists are all over the place today. There are so many people that are here just to gain what they are seeking from you, and it is fucking scary, to be honest. Like, really, it's yeah, it's terrifying when you have something like that. I think when I did the test, I was more on a narcissistic part than psychopath part, because narcissists are focusing more on themselves than anything else, but psychopaths are actually trying to gain more for themselves, which is, I mean, like, everyone is a little bit crazy, so there is no problem with that. But yeah, it is also quite challenging to do something like this. And I talk about that channel quite often. There is a channel, Diary of the CEO, and the guy Steven invites famous people to talk about it, to discuss their subjects. Like there is a dietitian, and then there is somebody else who studies sleep, and then there is somebody else who studies psychopaths and all kinds of things, I'll say it like that. And yeah, I do enjoy listening to them once in a while, and when you listen to all of them, you realize that there are so many different opinions and so many different studies that are going to misguide you and mislead you. So you are the only one who is responsible on how you try to live your life, and that it is only up to you what you want to believe into. People, you personally, I need deeper. Yeah, I think so. I think it makes sense, to be honest. Yeah, the idiots, sadly, sadly idiots are everywhere, and that trend with Karen and stuff, you know, when you see the women that think that they are entitled for something more than they worth. Yeah. And it's the same like with people who invent their own language. That part is also like, oh, what are you doing? Don't you think that people who created the language were a little bit smarter than you? I've learned a few days ago that there is a new saying in America about cab. And what is a cab, right? And my first question was, it's a taxi, but then I realized that cab is with B at the end, and it was cap. So I mean, like, that's a little thingy that you put on your hat, you know, like with that thing. And I was surprised when I learned that no, today it means you lie. And I'm like, wait a second, why do you need to invent a new word for lie if you already have that word? Plus, you cannot say you're capping me, because that is also not correct. You can say only you cap, which means you lie, but it cannot be a verb, which is, I just do not understand it. How arrogant do you need to be to do something like this? And yeah, I guess it all depends on in the way you were raised. And Yeah, you know, I feel like that. Uh, Blimpy, I know that you do your plays. I know that you do theater and not theater as you do plays. Do you have any other, uh, yeah, any other hobbies that you do? Because I had a conversation with my integration. I do integration because we moved into a new country. I studied the language, and beside that, I also learned about the country. since since I'm married, I've learned about a few new things, and one of them was not depression but a burnout. I didn't understand what that means. Apparently, a burnout is that feeling of not wanting to live, not wanting to do anything with your life, and it's just I don't even want to stand up of my from my bed. I just want to lay down and just don't touch me, you know. I cannot do it physically anymore. My body is giving up on me. So yeah, now I know that thing, and it was very strange for me to be honest. I I still do not understand what that means exactly. Because in Ukraine we do not have a depression. It's not like we do not have a word for that, like for example in North Korea. But we do not have a depression as depression, and definitely we do not have a burnout. And I told my integration officer that, listen, I don't know what that is. Because in Ukraine, if you're in pain, if something bothers you, if there is a problem, go lay down, sleep, take your time to rest, wake up in the morning, go back to work, and everything is going to be okay. We even have a fairy tale where they say that a morning is not smarter but wiser than the evening, you know, in that regard. You've had that a few times. You felt like you do not want anything to do with anything, and that yeah, it's just whatever happens. It doesn't bother me anymore and stuff like that. You really felt that way. So yeah, when I talked to that guy, I told him like, listen, we are putting ourselves on the 30th floor, away from the ground, away from Mother Earth, because I've learned that everything that is in this world directly connects to the earth. You wanna stay healthy, go work in the ground. You wanna recharge yourself, walk on the ground with your bare feet. You need to calm down and relax, lay down on the grass. Let it touch you. Let it soak into you. Let yourself go. Find a friend in your ground. Find that deep connection that is meant to be in there. Substitute for term like bull and bullshit. Really? It has been like that? The term Riz. Charisma. Riz is a new thing as well. I mean, like, see, why do you need to do things like that? You already have a word for charisma. You know, why do you need to invent those things? Yeah, it's still a mystery for me as well. Really, it is a mystery. I do not understand why it needs to be there. Not as much anymore. Do you think that expectations from you, you know, like I am sure that you were taught, especially because you're from the States, You need to have a good health insurance, which costs a lot of money. You need to provide for your family, which costs a lot of money. You need to have brand clothes, which cost insane amount of money. You need to definitely buy a Louis Vuitton bag for your woman because she deserves better. And those things, do you think that those social norms of a comfortable, good life put so much pressure on you that you just lose the will of living and you cannot focus on yourself and on your own self-being because the expectations are just too high? Is that a thing? What do you think about it? And yeah, going back to what did I say about before that about the new words inventing? I lost the trail of my thought, to be honest, but just give me a second. I will try and remember what I was saying. I have it sometimes. Sorry. Okay, it will come back eventually. In the meantime, for example, the expectations from me as a woman in Ukraine was always the fact that you have to look pretty, plus the fact that Ukrainian women are considered one of the most beautiful women. I mean, yes, Brazilian women are beautiful, and South America, I think it's right. It's South American women are considered very beautiful as well, like the most, the most. So as a woman, yeah, you have to look good. You cannot be stupid, but you cannot be smarter than your man. And I was growing up in a family where women worked. So at that point, you had to have an education. And that's basically one of the things in Ukraine, that you have to have an education. There is no other way around that. You have to go get your diploma and make sure that you can find a good study job. And that's how I was raised. I was always under that pressure of how do you call it, that social expectation from you. Yeah, I think that's the way to describe it. And it's not like it was, I don't think it's bad that they expect you to be smarter than you should be. And I think that everyone should try and do something, but it is not a necessity as it is. Right now, a lot of people, oh yeah, I like that Donkey Kong thingy. Right now, a lot of people do not have an education, and yet they have a very good paying job, which is amazing, to be honest. And in general, working online is amazing as well. But yeah, there are certain things that are still, they are just not changing. And it is kind of sad, I think. You are just afraid. Yeah, I understand what you mean. Of course you are. You know, it's the same thing like a woman has to have a child, a man has to have a good job. You have to provide. But nobody is actually asking, what do you want? You know, that's one thing. On the other hand, because we have so many opportunities of deciding what we want, that a normal day structure is gone. And now we live longer, but the life is also more expensive. We don't need as much as we have, but because corporations, because people are greedy and they're trying to get money, for some reason everyone's obsession is money. And mine too, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be biased or anything, I'm honest about it. I am trying to make sure that I have enough money for my family and for a comfortable life. But it's just the idea of all of that. If only we wouldn't have to pay for anything and everything would be paid by your labor, For example, you want a piece of bread, you go and you make it. You don't know how to make a piece of bread? Okay, have a cow, get some milk and exchange it, in that regard. I sometimes think, I'm sometimes sitting and thinking about shit like that as well. Which is quite amusing, to be honest, because you never know what you are going to achieve in your head while thinking about things like that. And with raising a kid, it can be even more complicated. But living away from the ground, that's what I was talking about. Living away from the ground is quite difficult on its own, and we do not realize it because we think that sitting in a cubicle or sitting in a personal office with a wonderful view outside of your window is more important than growing a cucumber. We think that working on a PC should cost, salary-wise, should be paid higher than growing a tomato. And like many of you know, I was growing up on a farm. We had a house. Congratulations with the crown. We look quite beautiful like that. Anyway, let's do another 150. Just we're going to wait for a few seconds so people can join us. I'm going to send the code quickly so everyone can see it. Just a few minutes and we will play another level. I was saying something and I lost it again. Growing up on the farm, because we had a big garden and we had a lot of ground, and my granddad would grow our vegetables. My grandma would grow berries and fruit and flower. I had a connection with the ground my entire life. Oi, bye. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Bye-bye. I had the connection with the ground my entire life. So I know how to collect the seeds from the best tomato and how to make sure that it has a little root and the first leaves and how it should grow and which fertilizer to use and how to do it correctly, how much time you need for that. But a lot of people don't. Even my daughter, she does not know all those things. At her age, I was already helping in the garden. I was already doing things. I think because you have that practical knowledge of knowing how to do those things, like how to build a wooden shed, how to cut the tree, how to remove, like for example, strawberry, you have a bush of a strawberry and then there is a little thingy that grows and it's a new strawberry basically. But if you want to make sure that your berries are in the right size, you need to cut it at the right moment. If you want to make sure that the plantation of berries is getting bigger, then you shouldn't cut it, you should let it root, and you should that way you're going to have a little bit more bushes and stuff. So all those things, that's that practical knowledge that comes from everything that everything that you do with your family members. And sadly, we do not recharge ourselves with the energy that we have. I do believe that every person has a soul. It has its own energetic field, and I'm not trying to deny any of those things, but we just do not do that, and we should. Everything was made out of everything was made out of ground. Even in biblical studies, I'm not promoting anything, I'm just saying the knowledge that I have. Even in those studies, you had an explanation that the man was made out of mud. Being single, Different strokes for different folks. Jiggly, I have to be honest about it. I have to be honest about my opinion, and I think that people are a group animal. We cannot be alone. We are not programmed to be alone. We need people around us to feel better about ourselves. We need that human connection. So people who are promoting loneliness as being happy, I think they were hurt a little bit too much throughout their life to actually admit to themselves that if they would have someone who they are comfortable with, because I'm sure that those people still have friends. Why do they have those friends? Because they share certain subjects, certain hobbies, certain interests. They just did not find somebody they would like to connect with. And I'm going to say something hurtful, but I have a few friends who do not have a traditional orientation anymore just because the opposite sex hurt them too much. They found the best friend into the same sex person and they connected on a deeper level from that, so they fell in love with that person. And again, nothing against people with which whoever you love. Please do. You are happy, all the better. I already said about that as well, that I have only the problem with nasty jerks. But if you have somebody you can turn to, all the better for you. Really, just wonderful and great. So saying that being lonely is good, it's either a complete isolation, like you're just going away from everyone and you do not have anything in your life anymore. No friends, no connection at all. You live somewhere like a monk without even talking to people. Or you just didn't find the right person. I've been playing lately a lot of Mario Kart, to be honest, like too much of Mario Kart. And yeah, a little bit of Mortal Kombat 1, Tekken 8, Tekken 7, Mortal Kombat 11, and no, we didn't play number 10 anymore. Yeah, for the past year we've been playing Mario Kart a lot, and we are waiting for Mario Kart 9 as well, and for Nintendo Switch 2. And yeah, I don't know if I already said, but they revealed that they're going to Nintendo Switch 2 patent reveals Joy-Con mouse functionality. I don't know what that means exactly. I guess it's going to be much easier, but on the picture, as far as I see, it's connection. Yeah, it's basically a pad that you're going to have. Oh my god, I need to focus on the driving. That is going to connect to your Joy-Cons. I've never had a Switch, so might get Switch 2. Oh my god, if you get one, let me know what you think about it. And why didn't you have any Switch at all? You are more of a PlayStation or Xbox guy? Which games do you play, by the way, lately? Because yeah, there are so many games that came out, it's just insane. Oh, I got lucky with those. I hope we are going to have finances to get Nintendo Switch, but if we don't, my opinion about Nintendo Switch is yeah, I mean, I love that console. Really, it was my first handheld and I love it. Introvert, so solitude. See, yes, there are people who are by default more closed, and it is wonderful that you can find peace within you, and that you don't always need people around you. I'm different. I always need a connection with people. I always need to speak to somebody. Otherwise, I feel it's not like I cannot be all by myself, but I feel it. Yeah, it's easier to be around people, and that's one of the reasons why I'm trying to have so many different hobbies, and I was always interested in so many different things that when I talk to people, they can actually understand that, yeah, she has some knowledge. I'm not a professional in any field except for marketing, but yeah, to have just enough to maintain a conversation, I think that is important. But I am sure that even in your life, you have people who are there for you as a friend and who you do not mind around you, which is the most important part. You always had PlayStation. Okay. Did you have all the PlayStations, like from 1 till 5? And what do you think about PlayStation 5 Pro? Because I've heard so many different opinions about that. We don't have Pro version, we have the normal one with the disc in and out. But yeah, what do you think about it as well? Nintendo Switch remote or Wii remote? I never played Wii remote, I'll be honest about it. But I did play Nintendo. I played Nintendo Wii U, and I love Nintendo Wii U. It is one of my favorite consoles, really. I've never played on Wii U before my adult life, so I was growing up with Sega. I think it was Saturn and Mega Drive, the ones that I had. Plus, sometimes I would play on PlayStation from my friends, and they would play like fighting games. I'm not sure if it was Mortal Kombat or not, but it was a fighting game. And then my next experience with gaming was basically with PC. I played a lot of Sims, and then they had like Linux game with the little penguin, and you had to slide and collect fishes on the way, and it was extremely fun. And I played Fantastics 4. That one was amazing as well. I had so much fun playing it. But yeah, my first console was Nintendo around, I don't know, the age of 20, I think, even 22. So yeah, I never played Nintendo Wii remote, but I would love to if I have a chance, because it's a new experience, something new, something interesting. And yeah, Nick, that's what I thought as well, that if you already have a PlayStation normal, then you are not going to see too much different with PlayStation Pro, considering the difference in price as well. It is quite insane what they ask for it. Same processor as a normal. Rated graphics. And the Pro. Oh yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Which Sega did you have when you were growing up? Yes, exactly. They kept the same processor and they changed just the graphics. Plus, if I'm not mistaken, they completely removed the disc CD reader. Oi. Unsupport. Yeah, having friends who are parents now, it is quite challenging. I have to agree with that. And honestly, it is difficult to find friends when you are a parent because you understand that priorities with your family come first. So you do not even have the time for your friends sometimes, which can be hurtful, to be honest, because yeah, especially if you're friends before you were a parent and then you have a child and you are just disconnected from them, you are not there for them anymore. That reminds me a lot about How I Met Your Mother, you know, and that moment where Lily and Marshall got their first kid and they were saying, if it's not 10, then you don't even come to me because we are here only 8 out of 10 importance. Stuff like that. So yeah, having people around and having some support system is important, definitely important. Plus, we are changing over the years. We shouldn't forget about that part. For example, I have a girlfriend. I know her 26 years from my life. So we know each other since we were 3 and 4. And she was never my best friend, but we would always connect on a certain level and we would maintain our communication once in a while. We would meet up for a small walk, we would chat about the things that were bothering us. And now I realized that we both actually realized that our connection goes so much deeper right now. We do not see each other in real life anymore at all. First of all, because of the war, we both are out of the country. We live in different countries. On the phone, we speak like, I don't know, once every 3 months, once every 6 months. But when we start speaking, we keep speaking for a few hours. And I always try to make sure that we have that time to speak when my child is not around. So I can actually focus on her. So I can actually give her the attention that she deserves. But yes, she was always a little bit more closed. So she wasn't always too comfortable sharing things with me. But yeah, now because we are changing, because we are growing older, not just like this, we are growing older. Yeah, the connection is changing. But having a kid, yeah, it changes everything. Today I have 2 best friends. And I'm so grateful to those people who stay in my life no matter what. First person is my husband. I am happy to say that my best friend is my husband. I don't know many couples who can stay as much time as we stay together, but I think on average I spend around minus the sleep that I have. I sleep around 7 hours every night, maybe 6.5. Minus that time, I have a connection. I have a problem with connecting to my. Wait a second. I hope it is gone so you can actually hear me. Please enable chats here. Oh my god, this is horrible. Oh, okay. The thingy is gone, so guys, please let me know if you hear me, if you see me, if you are still here, because I had a little bit interruption with my chat. I don't know why, something went wrong. The gameplay stayed stable, so don't know what's going on. All good. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I think I spend around 15 hours per day with my husband. And it is a lot of time. Hello, Yuhi. I'm from Ukraine. Currently do not live over there anymore. What about you? Welcome to the chat. Okay, good Jiggly. Thank you very much. Thank you. So yeah, I spend a lot of time with my husband and he is my best friend. And the second best friend is my grandma. And yeah, I told you about it a lot, and you can say that, oh, we're so tired of hearing it all the time and blah blah blah, but it is true. She is my best friend. She is always there to support me. She is always there to listen to me and give me, um, yeah, give me the love, support, and understanding that I'm desiring, basically. So she's my comfort best friend. But yeah, I also have good friends, and I know them more than half of my life, almost all my life. And I'm grateful that they are in my life. I'm happy to communicate with them, even if it's just once in a while. It hurts me when we do not speak for too long. But yeah, having that connection is important, definitely important. Having people in your life is important. For example, Jiggly, you say that. Oh, no, sorry, Awakening. You were. No, 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 no. Wait a second, wait a second. Aha, yeah, Jiggly. You were saying that you are an introvert. Wait, just a second, guys. I need to answer to that phone call. I will be back in a minute. Oi. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, sorry. As you all know, I am I am looking for a job, and yeah, because I'm looking for a job, I am going to different meetings and I'm contacting different companies. So yeah, I just received a call from there, and yeah, had to answer. that is basically it. Anyway, I'm going to go back into there. Hello, Fred. How are you doing today? Welcome in. Greetings to New York. I hope you're still here, guys. I hope you're, yeah. Yes. I hope you're still here. Так. And we were talking about... what did we talk about? What did we talk about? I completely forgot. See, got distracted and everything. Okay. So you were saying that you're introvert. And I understand what you mean because one of my granddads, he's like that as well. It is always so difficult for him to... you're just being quiet. Thank you so much, Blimpy. I appreciate that you're here. Really, I appreciate it. And I hope I can help you in any way possible. Good morning, Schnur. Hi, love. How are you? So being an introvert is very difficult because we are all pushed into that society and into those how do you say that? Yeah, into that frame of you have to go to school. You do not actually have a choice if you want to be around people. No, you are forced into it, which is extremely, yeah, it's like inconsiderate. I'll say it like that. And then the thing that you have to go to work, and it's not just you have to sit in your own car and drive. Sometimes you do not have an opportunity of having your own car, so you have to go and take the public transport, which is, I have to be honest, I'm not crazy about it in Belgium. I do not like their public transport. I wasn't crazy about Ukrainian public transport because the buses were always late, but they would always come. Here it's even worse than there. I've heard that in Canada public transport is just... what is public transport? At least that's what my girlfriend told me about it as well, and yeah, it was extremely difficult. I enjoyed public transport in Kiev because metro there was always good on time, the way it should be, and the buses, we had so many buses, plus taxi, and especially with Uber, the prices for the taxi went up, but if you had your own personal taxi driver, just like I did, then yeah, it was wonderful to have something like that. And yeah, the taxi is not that expensive, so if I'm not mistaken, the best country with public transport is actually Switzerland. They have the system of coming on time to the minute, and they are barely late. But again, we weren't talking about the transport and all. I would have, about my granddad, I would have to force... Isn't Japan known as best? I don't know. I've never been in that part of the world, and I don't actually have anyone in that part of the world, so I'm not sure. But maybe. I just know that Switzerland is one of the best countries. Hello, Darren! How are you doing today? Welcome. Hello to your girlfriend if she's there too. Introverts. The people who do not like crowded places and a lot of attention. Yeah, if I wanted to speak to my granddad, I had to force myself into him, and because your family, it's not considered as something as it doesn't we do not consider it as something bad. We are just trying to be there for you. But eventually he found a person that he's comfortable with. So I am sure that there is that somebody, that special one, that will make you feel comfortable, that will make you want to wake up in the morning and you will want to talk to them and spend time together and just, like be there. A quick question and my own personal experience. Apparently in Europe there is a law that is trying to protect immigrants who are coming into the countries. If you're an immigrant and you commit a crime, you get the punishment, but only 20% of those crimes can be reported, which is quite surprising to me. And they do that for the reason of do not hate that nationality, which is, I think it's quite unfair, to be honest. I don't know if it's like that everywhere, but in most European countries that's the thing. I'm not even sure if stuff like that, if there is the same law in Ukraine. I should check it out. I'm just curious now. But yeah. You welcome the thought of having a soulmate, because yeah, people call it a soulmate, and I think it's wonderful if you have somebody like that. I think it's good that you wanna spend time with that one special one, and the idea that you have that one special one is also important. But there is another question regarding that subject. Do you think that making a soulmate out of somebody is a good enough sacrifice? Like, is it a good decision to actually, like I told you, for example, my grandparents, they stayed together for 40 years, and that story that in our time we didn't throw things away, we fixed them. Is it relevant in that way? Because yeah, I do think about those things, and like I said, I would love to live with oh my god, I would love to have a good, nice, healthy family relationship for my daughter. But is it actually real, or is it just a delusion that I have in my head? Yeah, the things that we think about, right? It's just, sometimes it is overwhelming. Like, what is love? I asked my grandma about that question. Like, Bashka, what do you think? What love is? And then I talked to some of my friends, and my friends that are kind of my age, yeah, they do think about it, and they gave me some good tips and good answers regarding that subject. But my grandma's answer was like, I never thought about it. I mean, like, I didn't have time for that. I had to go and work and think about finding food for my family and making money. But yeah, she never actually thought about anything like that, which is surprising to me, because how can you not think about it? I guess that's yeah, that's something you do when you have too much time. Anyway, I heard that in Brazil they are restricting smartphones in schools, and I have to be honest, I think it is actually a good idea, because today, if I have to look at younger generation, and I'm not trying to say that I'm old, but when I was at school, I got my first phone in the 4th grade, I think, or third. No, wait, in my 2nd grade, I was around. No, I think in my 4th grade. That's when I just got my phone, and it was my first Siemens phone. And then we started upgrading them, and every year, or like every 2 years, my family would try and get me a new phone to, like the little froggy thingy, and then those sliders. I had the Nokia slider, with MP3 buttons on the side, and it was white and red, and it was so adorable, and I loved it. Oh my god, I would want to have that phone again just because it looked so cool, and every time you would answer like, hello, and it, oh, memories, memories, you know. But yeah, if I'm talking to my brothers and sisters, and even brothers and sisters from my friends, or just in general, people around, if you pay a little bit more time to the people around that are taking public transport, you see that most of them are going to just sit like that, looking at their phone and just doing something, typing something, looking at them or somebody else. So yeah, I do think that limitation of limitation for the phone usage is actually quite yeah, it is quite appealing, to be honest. I think that the phones should be there to speak, not to constantly use. Yeah, my honest personal opinion, and then yeah, we would. Yeah, I think the connection would be much easier, of course. On the other hand, it is so wonderful that we have our phones, because you are always connected to your loved ones, and you can speak to whoever you want, you can do whatever you want, and yeah, it is also quite cool. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think you can have somebody so close to you that you do not even realize if they're the one, and you just don't focus on finding the one, but the how do you call it? The connection that you have with that person is just undeniable. I think it is also, yeah, something you should consider, to be honest. Because yeah, if you have somebody you are comfortable with, it's worth a lot. And it's not that bad if somebody points it out to you. I remember when, I don't know if you had the same thing or not, but when you are a teenager, usually you have those friends who are a couple makers. And yeah, that was one of the best things to actually find friends, to be honest. And to connect with people. And just in general, the way the priorities are changing, the way everything is changing. You know, it is so... Yeah, it's... I mean, the thoughts that I had when I was a teenager, and the thoughts that... And the things that you do not think when you're younger, or when you're in your 20s. When I was in my 20s, I honestly thought that I'm going to find a good job in marketing, and that I'm going to build my own career, and I'm going to be like a business lady, and I will have my first child after I'm 30 years old, because like, why the hell would I waste so much time into something like that? And yeah, today I understand that having a child is one of the best things that ever happened to me. And it's not the happiest thing that ever happened to me, you know, but it is one of the best things that ever happened to me, especially when she goes somewhere and she stays with other people. And when yeah, when you pick her up, or just in general when they give you an opinion about your child, and they say, wow, she's so wonderful, and she's so good, and she listens so well, or she eats so good, and you know that you put time into doing that, you put effort into achieving something like that. Yeah, I think that makes yeah, that is important. You know, about matchmakers, they actually think that they are doing a wonderful, wonderful job, which is on its own is quite fun, to be honest. But yeah, it's Yeah, it is quite fun actually when people think that way. I'm one of those ones, really. I don't do it anymore because I don't have too many uh, physical entertainments with my friends. But yeah, when I was much younger, I thought that I'm just God-given matchmaker. That I'm just so good at that. It's just insane. So yeah, it is like this. And just in general, the idea of thinking that you're so good at something, it's so disappointing when you actually realize that you're not. Especially now with all the social media accounts where you see what people can do, how they do those things, and how it goes for them. It's just amazing. I'm um, I'm admiring the people who have their hobbies and who are actually good at it. You know, at that point, I want to believe that our planet is not as doomed as everyone thinks and everyone is saying. So, yeah, because we are fucked. I'm not even joking, we are. Sadly. Or not. One of the things that that surprises me till today is the fact that we are trying to learn so much and we are achieving so much from yeah, like what people are doing is quite amazing. What people are doing is quite terrifying as well, but that's the other side of the coin. And knowing how to speak is so important. Knowing how to present yourself is even more important. Um, we are studying so much about cosmos, and yet we do not know much about our sea, for example. You know, on the other hand, there was a military officer who got, yeah, his injuries were insane. And they, for the first time, implanted a chip in his head that is saying what he is thinking about. I think it's great, really. I think it's one of the best things that then can happen. Yesterday, actually, I talked to my husband about the things that, like super soldiers and injections and all of that. And I told him, you know what? I do not believe that super soldiers should be there. I mean, I don't think that we should enhance ourselves with injections that are making you extremely strong, that you can pick up 800 kilos or whatever. And because we talked about it, yeah, he changed my mind. And he showed me that the evolution on its own is not as bad as it is presented, but as long as it's in the right hands. But then again, the question is like, what is the right hand for something like that? Because you never know. And yeah, how can you? You know? But yeah, that story, I forgot about that story, about that chip and the guy who could use it to communicate again, to be a full human being. Plus, I'm watching Doctor House, so I saw another episode with the guy who was deaf and they fixed his ears. That part is also there. And yeah, actually, I understand that evolution is not that bad as long as it's in the right hands, but what is the right hand for that evolution? Because sadly, we are corrupted with the desire of being important. And I don't know if men feel the same way, but women do definitely. Jiggly, I think it is awesome when somebody is saying that you've done such a good job. Um, because me and my husband are from different countries, we have certain qualities that the other doesn't have. That's the first important thing that a lot of people do not understand when it's a mixed marriage. And because we were growing up in different environments, in different countries, with different economics and all, we have those certain rules that we want to make sure our kids will have in their life. Because you know that, okay, so because I was growing up in a village, I know how to make food out of everything and nothing. And I think it is important for everyone to know that thing, because zombies are coming, believe me. And yeah, we will lose the source of food, and you should know how to grow it. Otherwise, you're going to die and be a zombie. So, because we have those guidelines in our head, we are making our child even better. At least I hope we do. And yeah, I tried to teach her to clean her bedroom from her toys at the age of 1.5 years old. So at 1 year and 6 months, my child would barely walk, but she would clean her bedroom from her toys. And my mom and my grandma would always scream at me like, "Oh, you're a child abuser." But I tried to present it to her as a gameplay. So basically, we are playing with the toys, and then it's me who picks up a toy, puts it in the box, and I do bravo. And the same I do for my daughter. When she picks up the toy, she looks what I do. She understands that I'm actually applauding to her because she does that. She had the motivation of doing so. And today she's 6 years old. She hates cleaning her bedroom, but she knows that it is her responsibility to do so. Yeah, that was one of the most important things that I thought she should know and she should learn. But then every time when we go somewhere and she plays with the other kids, after the end, not after, closer to the end, when I tell her that, "Dear, it's time to get ready, we are going to go home, it's time to clean," she is the first one who is going to stand up and clean all the toys and leave no mess for the people who had us over. And it was like, oh my god, she cleans everything. I mean, like, yeah, of course she does. For me, it's normal that she cleans it. But yeah, for them, it's like, oh no, you shouldn't clean. No, she should clean. She played with the toys. She's done using them. She can clean after herself, you know? And even if I'm not there, that is what she's going to do. Same with eating food. I was a picky eater. For example, throughout my childhood, I hated onion. Like, I didn't like it. I would eat it fresh with my granddad, but that's about it. If it's somewhere in the meal, I would put it aside. I'm not going to eat it because it's bleh, you know? I am trying to explain to her that eating all the foods is healthy. You get all kinds of vitamins from there. And even if you do not like something, you're going to eat it here now for the first time with me. But I'm not going to tell you to eat it again, you know? We, a few months ago, we went to a restaurant and we got a complimentary treat from a chef. And it was a broccoli mousse with some smoked salmon and something like that. And the fish was tasty. I mean, who doesn't like salmon, you know? But the broccoli mousse was, ugh. I'm not crazy about broccoli. I eat broccoli only in Chinese food, to be honest. So she told me, "Mom, I really don't want it." I told her, "Dear, the chef tried to cook it for us. We should show our appreciation. but this is going to be the first and the last time in your life when I will ask you to eat that broccoli mousse. And she was like, okay. But in the meantime, her mother, her grandmother, told her that she can just leave it aside. And I'm not allowing her to do that because I know what it is like to live with the person who is too picky with their food. And sadly, it hurts not just that person because they're missing out on the wonderful opportunity of trying something amazing, yeah? But because it is also it's so difficult to actually find the right recipe that they would enjoy. Ugh. And cooking for that person is actually emotionally discouraging, which is there. And again, I found a way. I always find a way. But I am trying to teach my daughter that there is nothing in this world that you have to eat, that you hate, but you will always have to try first. That's basically it. It's competition between zombies. Yeah, actually, I think maybe zombies are not coming. I think robots are coming for us, definitely. Yeah, I completely forgot about AI for a second. But yeah, it is fucking scary. Honestly, every time when I'm reading news about it, and I think the first thing, I think it was the first article that I've read about AI going on a market, and it was Google. I think it was Google who tried to test it, and they put two AI robots against each other, and in 5 seconds, I think, after 5 seconds of talk, they became racist. And there is another study, a mathematical study. They gave it was Microsoft, not Google. Okay, it was Microsoft, maybe. Or I've read something, I've read another article. I'm not sure anymore. Anyway, and then there was another study there where they gave a mathematical dilemma that you had to solve, and it's impossible to solve. But AI solved it, but it couldn't understand and couldn't explain how they did it. And the fact that, it is terrifying, to be honest. If you think about it more and more, it is terrifying. Aliens. I actually believe in aliens, I think. And don't think that I'm crazy, I just don't think that we are the only ones who exist on this planet, especially after watching that show, Ancient Aliens. Yeah, I'm a fan of science fiction. I really enjoy it. So yeah, I think I wanna believe that aliens are there, and there is even a possibility they brought us to this world, and eventually, like one of the comics, if Schnur would just tell me the name, but it's the old guy who died. He was joking about the nature and the effect on the earth, and he was saying we live here only for a few thousand of years, the earth is George Carlin. Yeah, him. I actually enjoyed that story. It's not like it's extremely funny all the time, but he makes his point very clear. And he's amazing in that regard as well. Yo, broccoli is only terrible for me when it is with pasta mixed with cheese or some sort. Yeah, I think no, I still think that I can accept broccoli only in Chinese, in wok or something like that, because and steamed, covered in sauce. Not all the vegetables. I actually like most of the vegetables and most of the herbs, like balsamic with tomato and balsamic with tomato and basilic Oh, that's wonderful, especially if you add a little bit of baby mozzarella, then it's even better. But uh, yeah, I remember when my daughter was very young and she would try solid foods. I would always make broccoli with carrot and a little bit of cauliflower as well, and it would be like a puree, a soft steamed vegetables mashed together, and yeah, I did something like that. So yeah, you should eat your vegetables and you should be open to enjoying it. You should be open to trying new things. Right now, I have one dish that I'm like proud of. It's the it's pasta with cream sauce, paprika, and chicken. It took me all my marriage time to actually make it to a perfection, like to make it so good that people who come to our place to eat that pasta eat 2 or even 3 portions in a row, you know. And I'm so happy that I can please those people. In the first place, I'm happy that I can please my husband because he's my picky eater. But yeah, just to have that opportunity of seeing joy in someone's eyes, oh my god, it's just so wonderful. I like making sweet things much more than I like working with meat or vegetables. And my daughter is always a fan of my cooking. I love that she loves it. So yeah, it's complicated to actually in yeah, it's complicated to be a good cook. Yeah, you eat a lot of vegetables with your sandwiches. And oh my god, guys, I don't know if you ever tried or ever heard about Belgium sandwiches, but oh, they are the best. I mean, like the amount of filling that they put in there, the amount of option that you have, it's just, oh my god. You know, it is so good. So even if you have an opportunity to try or at least read about it, you should definitely do that. Also, I was surprised when we moved into Belgium. I saw so many similarities in in kitchen, in cuisine, but in their own personal way. For example, we have a salad. It's like a meat salad with some boiled vegetables, and it's usually with mayo. We call it olivier, and you can make it in a few different ways. You can use either boiled chicken and cut it into small pieces with some boiled potatoes and carrot and onion and pickles and peas. Yeah, and you mix it and you make it all in little cubes. So basically, when you chew, you still have to chew. And here I found kind of the same salad, but they cut it so small. Basically, it's like they're grinding it. So you can smear it on your bread and enjoy it. And I love both ways. It is so wonderful, actually. And yeah, we have the same with like crab salad and surimi salad and all things. So yeah, we are still looking for different recipes from different countries. So if you have anything you love, if you would like to share it, and if you do not mind sharing it, please yeah, send me a recipe. I will wanna try it and make it. I still wanna learn how to make good Chinese beef, like when it's that tender beef stews, when you eat that beef and it just melts into in your mouth. Oh my god. Oh, talking about food makes me hungry. Oh, it's already after 11, so I'm not surprised that I'm getting hungry. Yeah. Yes. Soulmates, food, gaming, political stuff, technology. Oh, I miss these streams. Thank you so much, guys. You actually made my week this time. It was difficult, really. It was No, 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 no. Anyway, I am going to take a break for now. It was a pleasure being here today, and I hope you enjoyed my company a lot. I will try and come online a little bit more often, maybe this weekend, maybe next week. I still go to school. I started my 2.1. I'm excited about it as well. Oh, Jiggly, thank you so much for the cheer. I appreciate your support. And yeah, it was awesome seeing you over here. It really it was a pleasure. I uh, I appreciate it so much. And yeah, I hope you had a lot of time as well. I will yeah, I'll try and stream more often. Please do not forget to check my social media accounts. You can yeah, you can see the names over there. If you wanna play offline sometimes with some Mario Kart, my Nintendo Switch code is over there as well. And yeah, I'll see you next time, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate it. Bye bye.